Good morning children. Today we are dealing with the top section of the chapter air, structure of atmosphere, because already we had learned what is atmosphere, what is the importance of atmosphere, composition, all that you had learned in the Zoom class. So today you will be learning about the structure of atmosphere. So our atmosphere is divided into 5 different layers. They are divided into 5 layers: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and the last one is exosphere. Once again, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. So we will be dealing with the structure, that means the divisions one by one. So first is troposphere. So troposphere is the lowest layer of the atmosphere and it is the densest layer of the atmosphere. It extends up to a height of about 18 kilometers down the equator to 8 kilometers above the poles. Here the temperature goes on decreasing as it according to the height. So that means as it moves higher up, the temperature goes on decreasing. Here the peculiarity of this troposphere is that all the weather phenomenon take place in the troposphere. All the weather phenomenon means related to clouds, rainfall, etc. Occurs in the troposphere, and this results in the change of seasons, which is very important for plant and animal life on the earth. Now I already told, as we move higher up, the temperature goes on decreasing. So as we go higher up, the rate of temperature goes on decreasing, or the rate of temperature drops at 1 degree Celsius for every 165 meters. That means there is a fall in temperature of 1 degree Celsius for every 165 meters. So that is related to troposphere, and the boundary that separates troposphere and stratosphere, you call it as tropopause. Now the next layer is the stratosphere. So stratosphere is a layer that is just above the troposphere. Now it extends up to a height of up to 50 kilometers. Here the temperature is constant in the lower part but increases in the upper part. Temperature here is lower, but in the upper regions the temperature is increased. Now this increase in temperature, I told the upper portion of this layer the temperature is higher, and this increase in temperature is mainly because of the absorption of the sun's rays. And it is almost these areas, or the layer of stratosphere is almost free from clouds, and because of this existence these areas are ideal for the flying of aeroplanes. And another important feature of troposphere is the existence of a layer which you call as the ozone layer, which protects the earth from the harmful ultraviolet radiations from the sun. Now the boundary which separates stratosphere and the mesosphere, you call it as stratopause. Now the next third layer is the mesosphere. This mesosphere is the third layer and it extends up to a height of about 50 to 80 kilometers. Meso means middle. That means it is the middle layer. Now here also a drop in temperature, there is a drop in temperature which starts in the beginning of the mesosphere at the juncture where the mesosphere starts. Now it is a layer which protects the earth from the meteorites that fall from the earth. So that means the meteorites when it fall from, they are hot glowing objects which fall out from the outer space. When they reach the mesosphere, they get burned up, they get converted into ashes and dust particles. So it is this mesosphere or this layer which protects the earth from the meteorites being falling down onto the earth. Now here the temperature decreases with height till it reaches a temperature of minus 100 degree Celsius, minus 100 degree Celsius, and this decrease in temperature is mainly because the air is thinner and there is little amount of ozone that is present in this mesosphere. And here the boundary which separates mesosphere and thermosphere, you call it as mesopause. Now the fourth layer is called as the thermosphere. So it is an area which have little air, an area which has lesser amount of air, and the temperature here goes on increasing or it is higher. This is mainly due to the direct energy of the sun. Now the solar radiation, the direct rays of the sun causes the particles here to get charged, which you call as ions. They are called as ions. So that means in the thermosphere there is the existence of electrically charged particles which you call as ions. Now it extends up to about 80 to 400 kilometers. Now these electrically charged, because of the presence of these electrically charged particles, you also call this layer as ionosphere, and it is this ionosphere that helps in the radio transmission, and this layer helps to transmit the waves backward to the earth. Once the wave reach here, it is transmitted back to the earth because of the presence of electrically charged particles which you call as the ionosphere. Now the last layer of the earth is called as the exosphere. It is the last layer, and this layer is the one which merges with the outer space. Here also the temperature goes on increasing with altitude because of the solar radiation. These are areas which are under the direct rays of the sun. Here the most prominent gases that is being found is hydrogen and helium. But they are the gases which is present here, but they are present in very little quantities. And here the density is very less, as well as the air is also very thin. So that is related to exosphere. So I hope you understood the 5 layers or structure of atmosphere: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. So learn the peculiarities of each of these 5 layers. Thank you.